Hello all. I found this at a thrift store today. And I'm very curious to see if it still works. I genuinely have no clue. The battery on here looks kind of dubious. It has this residue on it, but I don't think it can really leak and like get there, so without like of course getting all over the sides and stuff. So I guess it could be some buildup from the plastic just sitting in here for so long. I actually have no clue what year this could be from. It says copyright 2001 Radica in the corner. On the back here it says, a better rechargeable battery. Never waste money on disposable batteries for your Game Boy Advance with the Power Fix from Gamester. With superior NIMH battery. I actually forget what that stands for. Battery for longer life and better performance. The Power Fix can be recharged over 1,000 times for a dependable, long-lasting power. Gamester truly gives you the unfair advantage. Ooh, that's some high claims coming from Gamester. I have my childhood Game Boy Advance here with some Energizer rechargeable batteries. If for whatever reason this thing blows up and breaks my Game Boy Advance, we have another one that doesn't have any batteries in it. So, I mean, technically it'd be better to test it with this one. But this one just looks cool, so I'm going to test it with this. Alright. I mean, I don't know how collectible this really is, but I have this tool here, and I'm going to try carefully opening it up. It's really hard to get into, though. And I do not want to cut myself. I'm going to probably cut it to when I actually get this open so I don't have to have it in front of the camera while I do this and potentially hurt myself. Okay, I got it slightly open here. Should be open enough to get the stuff out. And when I say this smells like the 2000s, I really mean it. This is like just what the 2000s smell like to me. Like, because holy crap, oh man, oh my god, this is so hard to get out. Here's the actual battery. Yeah, I mean, looks brand new. I cannot lie, it does look brand new. Oh wait, all that residue and stuff, that I think was just it being pushed up against the package. And like, yeah, it's like greasy. That's like weird. I think this plastic here is just turning back into liquid or oil or whatever, because plastic kind of just does that after a long time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that needed to happen. Here's the actual charging cable. If I can get it open and out. It's stuck. Oh my gosh. Oops. I should really be a little more careful with this packaging if I want to preserve it, but this thing isn't very expensive anyway. I just want to get it open and give it at least some use in its life instead of it sitting in a box for forever. If the battery doesn't even work, I'm gonna reuse this charging cable, that's for sure. Let's see here. This thing is center positive, 3 volts DC. That actually, if I can go grab this. Oh wait, no, it's not worn off. That is actually the exact specifications of the power in for the Game Boy Pocket and the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Light, which is the example I use. So you can actually power all those systems with this power brick, which I find actually pretty funny. Yeah, I actually have a lot more hopes in this thing. It looked worse than it is. The only thing I noticed mainly that seems kind of troubling is whatever materials around this input here, if my camera will focus, is just disintegrating. That's not a very good sign. I'll be completely honest. Alright, I'm gonna have to go plug this in. My power strip is off camera, so I'm gonna have to go move the camera. Alright, will this explode? I'm sure it's not gonna explode. But, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Here's the twist tie that's on here. It's like a bread tie or something. And, I'm seeing if it gets any bit warm or anything. It appears to be fine, so that's good. Except this cable doesn't want to unwrap. It's like actually stuck together a bit here. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, I'll just ignore it, but yeah, the cable is somehow stuck together here. So that's strange, to say the least. Alright, so I got the cable unstuck. And, it was kind of weird. You can see if I don't know if any part of the cable was close to the outlet was stuck. Or close to this side was stuck. Oh, here's a part. You can see here where it was, like, stuck. That is actually really weird. I've never seen anything like it before. Alright. Well, if I'm gonna die, it's right now. Okay. It's not heating up or anything. So that's good. It doesn't smell weird, I don't think. It smells just like material. I really should be using gloves for this because I don't know if any of my viewers watch the YouTuber Dank Pods. Whenever he does stuff like this, he always wears gloves because there's like residue and stuff that'll just potentially get on you. It is, yeah, it's a thing. But I'm gonna leave this plugged in for a little bit and I'll see if it works. I'm actually having higher hopes than I thought with this thing, so that's actually pretty good. I don't know if I want to set it on here though, I'll be honest, if it heats up or something weird like that, so. Okay, so, it's not been very long, but I was looking through the packaging and, it actually has the manual and a warranty card in it. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't know if there's any information on here I shouldn't be showing, but whatever. I didn't buy it brand new, so it's not any of my stuff. Let's see if there's any important warnings. It says a initial charge of 14 hours is required. I will not be waiting 14 hours. I'll say that right now. Plug the AC adapter in the socket, the bottom of the power fix, and then plug the AC adapter in the AC outlet. Well, I didn't do it in that order. As you previously saw, I plugged the AC adapter in the outlet first, but I don't think it matters very much. Once charged, the power fix will provide up to 7 hours of playtime. This is subject to the software being used as well as any additional accessories. For maximal battery life, avoid repeated short charges and only recharge when the power fix is completely discharged. Should be periodically checked for external damage. Okay, well, I guess there's not really much warnings or anything that I shouldn't be doing, like keeping it plugged in for a long time or what. But, yeah, here's the internal packaging. I do not know where this manual went in here. Probably about here. So, I'll just keep it there. That's like weird. That's where the battery was sitting. That's what's kind of suspicious about this thing. There was like residue there, but it also had like similar residue and was pressed up against the plastic. So maybe it's this plastic that's just like going bad, but like none of the actual battery, like it doesn't seem like there's like battery juice or anything. It's just where it was pressed up against the plastic. So that's what makes me think this thing isn't like completely toast. But yeah, here's the packaging without the back. I probably am gonna keep this. Where'd I put the manual back in here. I'm I'm probably going to keep this manual and the actual battery, of course, outside of the packaging. I'll just set it here. And, yeah, we'll see if it works in a bit. All right, it's been a little bit. I don't know how long it's been. It's not been, like, even 30 minutes, I'd say. It said to charge it for 14 hours, which for the sake of making a video, I don't think I can really reasonably do that right now. So I'm just going to test it right now and see what happens. Let's see the fit. How does it fit in here? Not that well, I'll say that right now. Well, unfortunately, it's not working yet. I'll test to see if I plug it in and then turn it on if it'll work. Oh, it actually showed signs of life. Yeah. Maybe this will work if I just keep it plugged in for a little while. This thing is, like, not fit very well, I'll be honest, though. I'll test it in the other GBA right here. I don't want to damage any of my Game Boy Advances, though, so... yeah. I've actually been looking for a good, like, a rechargeable battery for the GBA, because I always thought it would be really cool to have one. And, oh, that just made, like, static sounds. Oh! Well, that's weird. It didn't even, I, like, showed a green light, but... oh, man, this is really, like, hard to get out, I'll be honest. I don't want to break it. Yeah, I'll probably have to do that off camera. Alright, for proof I didn't fry my GBA, here's the rechargeable Energizer ones. And it works, so... I guess I'll probably just have to put this back on charge for now. And see if it'll actually work. Okay, I just played some Mario Kart DS for a while. I'll see if this is any more charged. Just take this off the charger and put it on here, if I can fit it on here, that is. This thing, I'll be honest, it doesn't have the best fit, but we'll see. Oh, it was already on. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, I really don't know how long I'm gonna have to wait to get this to work. It's like, it acts pretty weird when I have it on the actual Game Boy charging. So, I don't know. I might have to actually wait 14 hours. And for the sake of recording, I can't do that. But we are getting progress, so I'm not going to say this is disappointing at all. Alright, before I end this, I wanted to show off something cool. I think I mentioned it earlier, but this power adapter this uses will work to power the Game Boy Pocket, the Game Boy Light, and the Game Boy Color. Which, I mean, I own all three of those, but I'm just going to use the Game Boy Light as an example. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, hold on. Okay, I don't know why it didn't work on my Game Boy Light, and now it doesn't want to turn on with my batteries. So I'm just going to leave it sit for a bit. But I can show you that if the power button works on here, it does work on this Game Boy Light. I'm not going to, or not Game Boy Light, this Game Boy Pocket. I'm not going to test it on any other Game Boy now because I don't want to potentially break them. I don't know. I don't think I actually broke this. It turned on for a second, but yeah. So, I really hope I didn't just damage this Game Boy Light, because that would actually be really bad. Like, being completely dead ass. So, although this power adapter does work, and it plays on the Game Boy Pocket, which the Game Boy Pocket does have the same power adapter specifications as the Game Boy Light. So I'm pretty sure it's probably my power switch just being bad on the Game Boy Light, which does happen. My Game Boy Light power switch just doesn't like to work sometimes. And for the record, I just got it to work again. So we're good. We're good. That genuinely had me worrying, though. I did not break the Game Boy Light. This thing is still good. And for the sake of testing, here's the Game Boy Color powering off the actual power adapter. So even if this battery doesn't work, which I don't know yet, I just have to keep it plugged in for probably like 14 hours like it actually says. So I guess it wasn't lying. So even if it doesn't, it still does work with these systems, which is pretty cool. I'll be completely honest. So yeah, I'd say overall for 12 bucks, this was still a success. Even if we can't really get this to work yet. But I'll potentially make a follow-up to see if this does ever work after charging it for forever.